Julie. That's not Alyssa, but at least you have something else to look at. This is Stuffed Taco. This is Stitching at the Cabin. Welcome. Today is June 19th, 2024. Alyssa has 2 more weeks of maternity leave. I'm not saying she'll actually be back, but technically, with work at least, that's what she's put in for, 2 more weeks. So it's possible in the next video, you might see Alyssa. You don't just have to listen to me ramble. Welcome everyone. Welcome back. Welcome if you're here for the first time. If you're here for the first time, you can't be too judgy because my other half is missing, my daughter. She had a baby. So give us a chance. Wait till she comes back and see if you like us more. What else? I feel like I haven't done this in a while and it's like my first time all over again. I don't know. Basically everything I'm going to tell you, if you want to send any of it, good luck spelling that. StitchingAtTheCabin@gmail.com is the email. Send your WIP shares, your finishes, anything you want to talk about. Send it all. StitchingAtTheCabin@gmail.com. I do get that. Alyssa doesn't ever look at it, so you're talking to me. So don't say bad things about me. You can bad talk Alyssa, but don't no smack about me. I'll see it. I'll know. Okay, so the WIP share this week, that is where you all send pictures of your WIPs. I put them on a wheel, I spin the wheel, and when the wheel says it's your turn, I show them yours, not them, not all of them, just whatever you sent. Right here. This one is unusual in that it is not Cassandra's WIP, it is Cassandra's husband's WIP. Yeah, a husband. It's so unusual to find a husband that will stitch. Good job, Cassandra. You did good. He is working on Astrology Cat by Ciro Marchetti. It's a Heaven and Earth design. It is on 25 count, 2/1, half cross. It is looking good. I went and found a picture of what it is supposed to look like. So hopefully that's what I stuck in here. He's made quite a bit of progress. It's really looking good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So if you have a WIP, send it, StitchingAtTheCabin@gmail.com. Tell me whatever you want to tell me about it. And if possible, send a picture of what it's supposed to look like. If not, that's fine. I have no issues finding it. Like in this case, it was clear it was a Heaven and Earth. And there's a chance she actually sent me what it's supposed to look like because it was in 2 emails and I only saved one of them. I mean, I didn't get rid of the other one, but I didn't save it in the inbox. I moved it to the archive and I wasn't going to go search for it. So, sorry. Finishes. If you have a finish, send the finish. That does not go on a wheel. That just gets shown the next episode, however many finishes. There's only one this time. You people need to be finishing stuff. Don't listen to me. I'm not one to talk. I have no finishes this time. But you all should. So finish things and send them. This is Sabrina. It is Shining Fish by Lindy Stitches. Picture this plus 18 count Ada. It's Mystic is the color. She said she changed the words to reflect that she has a son and a daughter. Now I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this, but she does have Flosstube. I am subscribed. I want to say it's Lady Marmalade in Stitches, but that's because of that song. It's probably Lady Marmalade in Stitches. I'm sure she says it, and I'm 99% sure that I watch, but I don't pay attention to the pronunciation until now. I'm in panic mode because I have to pronounce it and I don't know, and I should have checked beforehand, but and then this could all be a lie, and maybe I just think she has Flosstube and then I'm subscribed and she doesn't. That sounds very much like something I would do. But I can see, in my head I can see what she looks like, so I'm sure she'll comment below if she sees this and clear it up for us, but that is a beautiful finish. I truly love that. And what it says, I told her I'm never going to see a school of fish turn like that and think of anything other than this. I truly, truly love that. I had not seen that before, and I do watch Lindy Stitches as well, so I don't know how I've missed that, but 99% of the Flosstube I watch is not, that's not even true. 100% of the Flosstube that I watch is while I'm working, and sometimes work crises happen and I think I'm watching and it turns out that I'm not actually watching, because then I have to back it up when I discover you said something that I now have no clue what we're talking about. Oops. I'm also, you know, I still have 200 and something videos in my watch later because I watched that whole trial and a lot's happened and I'm not able to watch much. So please don't ever be offended if you think I should know something that I don't know. Just kindly tell me what I should know. But I am trying to get caught up. But I know there's a lot of you that I have watched a lot of, but maybe not all of. I'm working on it. All right. So send stuff. StitchingAtTheCabin@gmail.com. WIPs. I have WIPs. You want to see the WIPs? I would say it's because I don't have as many as usual. I know my stitching has been way less than normal, so don't judge me. But here is Keto. Oh, I didn't think about Taco being in the way. Here, Taco, hold some of that. For anyone on the newer side, Taco was a Chihuahua that I had for 15 years. He was 18 when he died. I had to put him down at the end of February. And my husband had this stuffed animal made that looks almost identical to him. In fact, if people don't realize it and they walk in the room, they think this is Taco. Sometimes I think it's Taco. So he hangs out with me while I stitch, and he's weighted. They put like metal balls or something in this so that he has the right weight, and this was his collar. We put that on there, but he's painted. His tongue would stick out, so they did that. He has a heartbeat. I've tried to show you guys, but you can't hear it. But if I squeeze him, there's a heartbeat. Anyway, it's very sweet of my husband. Okay, back to Keto. Keto, Annie Stagg, Heaven and Earth Designs, 2/1, 25 count full cross. It's a mouthful, isn't it? So the bottom of the page is down here in line with, I can't see it, but in line with whatever the bottom of the page is. So this is the edge, and we're working down, and it'll be rectangular, just like all the other pages that you've been watching me do for all of these years. I just hit myself in the nose. It's pretty confetti heavy in here. It's not so bad on this side, but over here it is, and it is down in here. But you can't see it probably super well, but I'm making a lot of progress in there. I try to do, you know, like typewriter method, but you know, stuff does end up down there, so I cannot see at all. So I have no clue what you're looking at. Hopefully I got it close enough for you to see. And I'm going to try to remember to cut while I take pictures, but give you enough time to see a side-by-side, because I have a tendency to forget that part, and then there's no space for the side-by-side, and then I'm shoving stuff in weird spots. This is Au Fil des Niçois. It is the birdhouse sal that we're doing at Stitch West. It should be done in October when we all get together again. I can't show you what's over there because I got the Q-snap on, but it's done, all of them that way. And I think there's only 3 this way. So I finished up whatever I needed to over here. I lied one time when I said I didn't think that there was a back stitch on this duck thing. There is. I haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't done the back stitching on like this chunk at all. But like this is a bird. That bird doesn't have feet. That one I don't think has feet. There's back stitching. So I started on the cactus. I think there's one more row over there, but I didn't have the time, and I haven't picked it up again. It's an intense amount of stitching. It may not look like it, but like that fence is a beast. You gotta like stitching in white. It's not actually white, it's like 3865, but you gotta like white because there's a lot of it. And I think I moved this line across. So I think there's 1, 2, 3. I don't think it's 4. I think this counts as 3. So I'm still on track to finish on time, but I do need to get moving on this. The fabric is 32 count Seraphim Peeps, and it is Jeune Privé. So there is a sale going on. I am I meant a hashtag. I am not good at hashtagging things, but it's oct2oct.sal. That's the one I remember. There's like 3 of them, but that's the one I remember. So you can look up and see what people are doing. Mill Hill Buttons and Beads, Christmas Cabin. It is that. And I do have the big tree button, hence buttons and beads. I have made a tiny bit of progress on this. I was just working on it on Father's Day when I was watching TV movies with my husband. That, well, I can multitask. So I think there's a little white, well, gray actually down here, and more of the blue. That's about all I remember. You can see through it, you can see me. Whatever, it's perforated paper. I like it. I like it a lot. I've lost my phone. Ah, there's my phone. Back to, I don't have a cover to show you. This is Reindeer Lands. I can't remember who it's by. I think the same one that does that Kingdom of Books or the European Town. It starts with an A, I think. I think that's who did this. I'll look it up. I'll put a picture in of what it's supposed to look like. I did get quite a bit done, even though I didn't spin this or anything. I was just working on it after work the last couple of days. There's a lot of hanging threads there. So the bulk of the difference is going to be the deer head. And I was worried when I first was working on this, because I only had this top part done, and while the cabiny house thing looks fine and the bush looks fine, this like blue and stuff wasn't making sense. And I was like, I don't know if this deer is going to look like anything. But now that I've done a bunch, I'd say it looks like something. I can also tell you I was watching Bridgerton while I was stitching this. I love Bridgerton. I am sad that now I have to wait for a whole nother season. And I don't like that they split it into 2 release dates. Bad Netflix. Anyway, that is Reindeer Lands. So let me take a picture of that. Isn't it funny how we stitch things in? Like, I can tell you what I was watching when I stitched this section. It's not the same as what I was watching when I stitched that section, you know? Okay, so I have another chatelaine that I'm working on. Hopefully, Dina, if you still watch it all, maybe you could give me an update on when we're going to start that. Well, I think you've started yours, but the Alpine chatelaine, Alpine garden, because I'm worried that you've said something and I didn't notice. So maybe if you could comment and just let me know, are we still waiting for her to get her materials, or did you guys start and I just didn't know? No rush, no pressure, whenever. This one, however, I don't have the cover for it, is Oriental Harem Garden. I saw it, I fell in love with it, I dyed fabric for it, and I have been working on it. I can't guarantee that I'll hold it the right way, but, excuse me, Taco. Yeah, so I've been working mostly down here, but a little bit of everywhere. Again, it's sort of, but because this is so big, I don't flip it over, so that's what all these waist areas are for, all those little waist ends. I promise they won't exist in the end. Promise. Don't you just love those colors? Oh, it is so beautiful. I mean, repetitive. It's a ton of work, but it's so pretty. I love it. It has so many NPIs. So many NPIs. I am shooketh with how many NPIs there are, which obviously does not make it cheap, but I got it through European Cross Stitch quite a while ago, several years ago, but before it took a year to wait for Gloriana's, and I love that one so much. In case I hadn't said that, 12 times. Let's see what else we've got. We've got these 3. I think that's it. Yeah, I think so. You'll notice I did not work on Olivia's project, the pond. I meant to, but then I got caught up in other things, and then I thought, well, I'll just take a break, and so I did not, but I will. Next week, probably. This one I do have a cover for. It was my unicorn. Yes, it got called again, which is unusual for this one to get called kind of often. I did not have a lot of time to stitch on it though, so you're not going to see massive changes, I don't think. I was working on the side, the border, so probably this side. I think it was below, like where the halfway mark is. The bulk of the difference is that. It is out of print. If I didn't mention it, it's Elegant Tapestry. I dyed this fabric. It's not the kit fabric, but it's similar. It's just not Ada, but I dyed it to be a similar color because I kind of wanted this background area to kind of blend into it. I was lucky to get it. I love it. I don't necessarily love working on the border, but you know, it has to get done and it's worth it in the end. I know there's still quite a bit of back stitching that I need to do because the areas of the border where I did do the back stitch look so much better than the areas where I didn't, but you know, I only have so many hours in a day and I have a job. Looking forward to retirement. Congratulations to those of you who have retired recently. The two that come to mind are Audrey, who is Stitchy Witch 42, and Brenda, Handwork Maniac. Both of you have retired in the last couple of months. I think Brenda was super recent, just maybe last week even. So congratulations. I want to retire one day. One day I will, oh no, I didn't put the picture back in. One day I will join you ladies in retirement and maybe actually even meet up, although you're not in the same state. Not with me and not with each other, so that would make things a bit more difficult. Okay, I'm gonna wait on that one because that one's a new start and I got some splaining to do. This is Tropical Paradise. I just felt like working on it. I have the cover, but it's not in color. But if you want to work on it, that is who you need to look for on Etsy. And when I bought it, not last time I checked. I haven't checked since I bought it. When I bought it, she was not listing it on Etsy. I reached out to her and asked her, and she sold it to me. So if that's still the case, reach out to her and see if she will sell it to you. It is in Pattern Keeper. It is Pattern Keeper compatible, except for the backstitch, obviously. But there's a second chart that's backstitch, which makes it much easier. I think. I'm pretty sure. I know the backstitch is clear on this, but I think there's a second backstitch chart. I don't know. Here we go. I created that bird. I mean, it's not done, but you know, I'm getting there. And some branch. I think I did a little bit down there because Alyssa always complains his tail is hanging, and it's still hanging, but you know, slightly less hanging. So the end of the page will be over here slightly. I think there's a butterfly, but that's the last bird up there. And then I think there's one or two there and one or two down there. I mean, you just saw the thing. You tell me. There's the butterfly. The butterfly next to him. That's all done. Then on this side, we have the most adorable fish needle minder with big eyes. Thank you, Christina. Looks like two birdies there and 3 down there. I don't know if you could see any of that. And this is a sugar maple fabric. I don't remember which one. I'm sure I could find it in here somewhere if I looked. And no, I didn't film a fabric thing from those 99 pieces of fabric. It's not that I'm not going to. A couple of you asked for it. I just don't have the time right now, and I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it. So, but it won't be, you know, a normal floss tube. It would be an extra. So one day, maybe I will do that. The boxes are still sitting there. I have not moved them since the last video. They were right there because I need to figure out how to film, how to store it, how to organize it. I just look at it. I love it. Does make me want to start a lot of things though, just because I have all this fabric that needs to be used. All right, so this last one is a new start, and It is because I am going to a retreat in November where the theme is Disney. And initially I wasn't going to start anything, but I love starting things. And I looked a lot for Disney stuff, and I could, most Disney is not legal, not copyrighted. You're looking at illegal stuff. So I was trying to avoid that, and I just didn't see anything I really liked anyway. So I just wasn't going to start a Disney themed thing. And then I found this picture, which I'm probably putting in here someplace. And I don't think it's a Disney thing. I think you could interpret that as Disney, but don't think it is. And it's in several different colors on Etsy. So I'm hoping it's not anything stolen. I've never seen it before. I hope it was a legal thing. So I bought that, and I've had it for a while, and it is huge. I think it's 600 by 600 stitches, but it's 100 and something pages, but the pages are considerably smaller than like Heaven and Earth. So anyway, I've been meaning to start it, and then just the itch overtook me the other day, so I pulled it out and I started it. I am not currently loving it, but let me explain why before I show it to you. There is nothing wrong with the pattern. There's nothing wrong with it in any way, shape, or form. The problem is completely me. I am the problem. The problem is me. I love to see progress, and so I started in the bottom right corner thinking, oh, well, there's the dress. That's the closest place to see progress, so when I take it to the retreat, it's going to look like something. It does not look like anything. I worked on this for hours and hours and hours, and it looks like nothing, and that's where my frustration is coming from, because it's going to be a lot of nothing for a very long time, and no matter which angle I come at it from, it's still going to look like nothing, and it's shockingly confetti heavy, despite the fact that it doesn't look like it would be. I have the patience. I will continue. I will work on it when the wheel spins it, and we will get something accomplished. I will still take it to the retreat. But my goodness, people, it is not satisfying to work on at all. And plus, I haven't organized my floss. I can't figure out what I want to do with it. I mean, I would love to do it like a HAED material pack, but, we're still working on that with just the mermaid one, and it doesn't help that Alyssa went on maternity leave and hasn't floss dropped it all for me yet. She's sort of busy with a baby and a toddler, but, me. Let me see if I can find... I can see floss, so it must be... Here we go. It is in here. It looks like nothing. It's a lot of nothing. I can't remember how many stitches I did, but it's a lot of nothing. And this part down here is so confetti heavy. So I tried coming up, hoping, like, you can sort of see the swoosh of a dress, but you don't see anything. You don't see anything. Nothing. Did I take a picture of stuff? I hope I took a picture of that last one. Sorry. That just occurred to me. So, yeah, I mean, I love purple. But, and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know how well you can see how well the colors, like, blend and how pretty they look and stuff. But it's just... It's very slow going because it doesn't look like anything. Okay. All that behind us. Those are the WIPs. I noticed I'm wearing a shirt, and you guys probably wonder what it says. Yes, I'm cold. Me 24/7. Alyssa gave me this shirt, and I love it. I do not have haul as far as, like, I have nothing to show you. I do have haul coming, and it's because the material packs I bought back in March, I got the notification that they have been shipped. However, that notification came yesterday, and I have tracked it like every 2 minutes since, and it's still label created. And I do not know when it's going to arrive. And I tried to stall the Flosstube a little bit, hoping it was going to, like, pop up, and then I could say, hey, this is when it's coming, and maybe wait and film then. No, I don't know. So, super exciting, because it's 3 material packs. The new starts in my immediate future, because I guarantee you I will not be able to not start those. Guarantee it. So we'll spin the wheel, but I can't promise that what it spins is what I'm going to work on, because I have 3 new goodies to start. I know you're like, Julie, you got a lot of projects and a lot of them are massive. Do you need more? No. Do you want more? Yes. Are you gonna be responsible and not start more? No, absolutely not. Especially because there's something going on with me right now and I don't know what it is. I'm extra emotional and I've taken Excedrin migraine so many days. So many days. Like, I took it yesterday, I took it today. I just think I have a lot of stress in my life right now that maybe I'm didn't even realize I had, kind of thing. I know this week is especially rough. So I'm hoping next week things will kind of go a little bit back to normal. I'm not depressed. There's nothing actually wrong with me. Just, I think, stress. So we'll get that worked out. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. I've known for a few weeks that this week was going to be more difficult than other weeks. All that to say, I'm going to have some new starts. And I can't guarantee that I won't start a bunch of things just because I have fabric and the desire. I don't know. I can't say. If that makes you uncomfortable, I apologize. You don't have to watch. I wish that you would, but also I'm going to be selfish here and I'm going to do what I want to do. I try not to do selfish things, but I think I need this as therapy. In order to take less Excedrin migraine, I'm going to start the things I feel like starting. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't feel like it when the time comes and I'll just work on something older that gives me comfort. I have no idea. All I know is stitching is what is keeping me sane and I'm not about to stop. And when I get grumpy, like yesterday, I was grumpy. I don't even know why. And my husband was like, you should take a few minutes off and go stitch. Like, excuse me, you should stop working early and you should go stitch something. I didn't. I worked actually late, I think. But he was right. Once I started stitching, I felt much better. And I was not mean. I was not mean to anyone. I was just grumpy. And I openly admitted, I am grumpy. I don't know why, but I am. This is not the day to ask me anything that, yeah, I was grumpy. That was a lot of babbling, a lot of rambling. Okay, people, we gotta spin. Don't know what, why, because I just told you I may not do anything, but boop. Yeah, we're gonna spin. Anyway, because I want to. We are going to the cabin this weekend. However, we have this issue with the Jeep. It needs to be smogged, and we took it, not last weekend, because we went the weekend before we took it to the cabin, and we tried to get it smogged, and they couldn't actually even do the smog test because let me spin, because now I've just got this sitting and I keep editing. I guarantee it broke. I guarantee I'm not going to, mainly because I just worked on that like couldn't have been last week, the week before the last time I was at the cabin, I worked on that. So I can almost guarantee, and I would normally do the random number generator to see what I'm going to do a new start on, if I'm going to do a new start. I don't need to because I have those material packs coming and I'm going to do a new start. Anyway, so the Jeep, we took it to get it smogged, and the guy said it was going to be like 45 minutes. So we're like, okay, we're going to walk down to the grocery store because we needed to get some stuff, and we don't go to town because it's not this town. It's a much further, hotter, more the deserty town. So we went there, and we're like, okay, we're going to walk down to the grocery store, and we'll be back within the 45 minutes that he said. He's like, okay, but just, no, it's hot, and you're going to be walking uphill on the way back. Are you sure you want to do that? And we're like, yeah, we're fine. He's like, get some water. I'm like, okay, we're fine. So we go down, we do our shopping, we walk back up. It was steep. It wasn't super steep. I mean, it was a walk, but we're in decent shape. It wasn't, well, I don't even think we were huffing and puffing, and it wasn't that hot, but it was windy, which was kind of annoying. Anyway, we get back, and the Jeep is sitting there, and I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird that it's already done and sitting there. I hope there wasn't an issue. We walk in, and the guy's like, I asked you if you had reset the computer or had a battery issue recently, and you said no, but you did. And we're like, no, we didn't, because that happened last time, and no, we did not. And he's like, we put the thing up, the computer thingy, to check it, and it's been reset recently, so we can't smog it. The state of California does not care how much smelly stuff comes out. They have all these other rules. You cannot have recently reset your computer. If your battery dies, this is what happened to us last time, the battery dies, shows it in the computer that it reset, and then you have to drive it something like 150 miles before you can get it smogged. Here's the problem. The Jeep is at the cabin, and we only drive it maybe 20 miles a year, maybe. So the last few years, we have put on an incredible amount of mileage just trying to pass smog, which is polluting the air. So it seems kind of silly that the state of California is doing this. So this weekend, we're going to have to drive the Jeep like 150 miles. My husband's like, we're not doing it. We're not going to drive that far. The registration is due on the 22nd. I paid it today, but we are not going to be legal to drive it once like the 23rd happens because we don't have it registered properly because we didn't smog it. But we don't have time to drive that much this weekend. And he doesn't want to bring it down here because it's a stick shift and there's a lot of traffic down here. Plus we don't have a place to park it because it's open, the top, we have a bikini top on it. So all this to say, I'm not going to have a lot of time to stitch this weekend. But we will be at the cabin. I miss the cabin. Okay. That's it for stitching, except most of that wasn't stitching. Sorry. I just have a few others. I don't think this will be super long. The Mambo update. My mom has breast cancer, as you know if you've been following along for the last year. She was diagnosed June 20th of last year. Tomorrow is June 20th. And I know this because it was June 20th last year, which was my 25th wedding anniversary. So she's having chemo tomorrow on my 26th wedding anniversary. It makes it really easy to remember, but you know, not like I was going to forget the date she told me she had cancer anyway. But now, super easy. Thanks, Mom. Made it easy. Good job. So she has been doing that clinical trial, but she's not on the clinical trial. She didn't get randomized into it. She's on the other one, the Xeloda, which is what she would have gotten had she not done the clinical trial. But now they take a ton of blood, and we have clinical trial people that we see every time we get there for pretty much any reason. I have to text them, hey, we're here, and then they come meet us and follow us around and ask questions, and there's multiples of them. So we went to the doctor yesterday. We were at the oncologist's office, texted them, they came down, they gave us instructions, she had some lab work done, and then we texted them again when we got to the oncologist's office, and then they all popped in. And so when the doctor went to come in, there's people behind the door, there's just people, it's people-y. When we do the infusion tomorrow, it's going to be people-y, because not only are all the infusion nurses there, but then you've got all the clinical trial people as well. I'm not complaining at all. We have a plethora of support. It's just very unusual to have like staff members following you around and meeting you, and we have group texts, and they can only they can set up appointments. So like with the chemo before, I scheduled them all in advance. I can't. They won't let me schedule anything. I tried the last time we were there, and they're like, nope, it has to be the clinical trial people. So I'm almost useless now. Anyway, so she had been having issues with the Xeloda, I had told you, and so they knocked back the dose. So instead of 5 pills twice a day, it's 2 pills twice a day. That's a little misleading because some of the pills were some amount and some were the other, but you get the general idea. They knocked it down significantly. So she's been doing much better with that. Hey! I don't know what I was saying. I know it was about my mom. They cut back the amount of Xeloda, and she's doing much better. She's not having the issues she was having before. She does have neuropathy in her fingers, but some of that was Taxol, but this seems to be making it worse. So we talked about that yesterday with the doctor. There's not really anything she can do, but he thinks because they cut back, it should get better. She could put lotion on it and stuff, but it's not like red and cracking, so I don't really see how that's going to help. But she is lotioning herself up, her hands and feet, because that is a known issue. She is still huge trooper. Like, she doesn't complain about anything, and I think she should. I would almost feel better if she complained, because then I would know, okay, these are the issues, these are not, that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. Here's what was causing us so much stress for the last couple of weeks. She had gotten some blood test results a couple weeks ago, and I told you she'd done the Signatera, and it said that she had no cancer in her body at all. these two blood tests were tumor molecular tests, which is kind of the same thing, tells you whether or not you have cancer. Both of them came back high. And when you Google that, it's like either she has cancer that's come back or it's metastasized. Nothing about this being high is good. There's no possible way it's good. It is absolutely terrifying. And then you start questioning everything, and why was the Signatera negative? It wasn't even just, oh, there's a small amount. It was none. So why? Why is this one saying, with these two are saying high? So we were like super stressed, and we couldn't see the oncologist till yesterday. So for like the last 2 weeks, we've all been like crazy worried about what is going on. I was dreading yesterday. Like, I wanted to see the oncologist to ask him, but also I was so scared of the answer, I didn't want to ask him. So it was a huge relief when, well, first of all, he didn't bring it up at all. And we were like, hello, this is spooky. So we asked him, and he's like, oh, you shouldn't even be looking at those test results. Okay, well, we looked at them. He's like, you don't even need that test. Well, somebody ordered it, I assume the clinical trial, and she's taking it. So please to explain why this one says 0 and these are high. He says it's a false positive, most likely, that the accuracy rate of the tumor molecular test is 60%. The accuracy rate of the Signatera is much higher. I think it's like 90-something%. So he says always listen to the Signatera and not this other one. You don't even need to be taking that one, doing those tests. But of course, she had blood work right before this, and I saw that those were on there. She did tell me today that she got the results of that, and both of them were now in the normal range, which still confuses me, because is there a normal range of cancer? I mean, like, if I took that test and it was in the normal range, would I not be absolutely terrified? Because as far as I know, I don't have cancer, so I should have no antigen tumor molecular cancer thingies, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, he says you're being treated for cancer. Blood tests should be abnormal. If they're not, that's spooky. So then he asked if we had any other scary things we had seen. No. So, she's good. She's good. But that was awful. So if any of you out there are battling cancer, I am so sorry. But also know that your tumor molecular tests are not what they use anymore. Now they use Signatera, so if you have the opportunity to do that, I would do that. They take a sample from the pathology when you have surgery, and they compare proteins or something, and then from there on out you can do blood work, and they compare them, and they can tell if that particular type of cancer is in your bloodstream. That's my understanding. I am not a doctor. I'm not a lab person. Do not take my medical advice, but I would not want anyone else to go through that 2 weeks of thinking something horrible was going to happen, when in fact it was absolutely nothing. All good. We're still good. She has Keytruda and hydration tomorrow for a few hours, and she's on an off week of the pills, but I think she starts again tomorrow, I think, taking them. So she'll be back to having symptoms, but hopefully not as bad. She said she's feeling actually pretty good right now, but she's not taking the pills. So, okay. So, we asked Alyssa if we could have Addie one night, and so Friday night before Father's Day, this last weekend, we picked Addie up after her nap, and we brought her home, and we had a great time with her. She spent the night, and then my mom and Alyssa and her husband and new baby all came to celebrate Father's Day on Saturday when they picked up Addie. That was also a great time. Saturday morning, we had taken Addie to the animal shelter. We wanted to take her to the zoo, but the zoo we usually take her to is way too far away, and the local ones don't open until 10. And with her nap schedule and how far they are from us, that would not have worked. So I said, well, maybe we could go to the animal shelter. Zero risk that I'm going to adopt a dog, because Taco just recently died. I do not want another animal. I am good. I have the birds. That is as much care as I want to give to other lives. I am not ready for another animal. So we took her. She did not like the dogs so much. They were very loud, very scary. I ended up holding her most of the time, which I was kind of thinking maybe my husband would hold me while I held her, because it was very loud and spooky. And I kept tearing up. I felt so bad for the dogs. Like, they just want a home. They just want someone to love them. And sometimes I have little stories on the cages, and then I would start to like tear up again, and I was like, this isn't good. So we went to the cat side. I may or may not have pictures or video, I can't remember what's in my phone, of Addie with the cats. In fact, I think I do, because I thought she said quiet, but it turned out she said crying. The cat was crying. Alyssa told me when I sent that to her. We went for a couple walks. We had a good time. We had a really good time. She's a good baby. Old baby. New baby came on Saturday, and I got to hold her for a while she was sleeping. And there's nothing better than a baby sleeping on you. That, if they could bottle that, they could sell it for millions. Like, I like sleeping babies. Cuddly, warm, just the right weight. I could have laid there for hours. But alas, they took her. They took her away. I would assume that I have put in a couple of pictures. They had newborn pictures done, so I will put those here if I have any. I told you the wedding anniversary is tomorrow. I've got 2 more things. No, I got three more things, and they'll be quicker. I promise. I promise. Y'all got things to do. I have to show you that last video from work, so there is probably not sound, because I didn't want to be demonetized again. I don't get the money anyway. Alyssa does, and it's very little, but I feel like we're doing something bad, and like you get like a slap on the wrist, and I don't want to cause problems, so I'm just going to take the sound out. Again, just know there is no sound that's important. It's all on the screen. The sound is just generic music. We do have the rights to it, but it's too hard to prove that to YouTube. There may be a few sound effects or whatever, but I mean, it's nothing. If you really want to hear it, email me, and I'll email it to you if I can. It might be too big to email, but we can try. I don't think anyone's going to kill it. This actually is my favorite one. So yeah. The other 2 things. I told you before, I think, that I was gifted an office. And in fact, I think Katrina, the crafty catalogist, asked me in a comment if I could return that gift. I hear you, because I work at home now. So like having to go in, why would I want to do that? But I'm finding I really like the balance of, sometimes I'm seeing people and I feel closer to coworkers. I feel like they are more comfortable talking to me. I'm more comfortable talking to them. I feel like we're more connected. Not everything is through writing and you can't see the tone, and I just think it's better, and it, you know, gets me out of the house every once in a while. I was becoming a little bit feral, now less so, but I got to decorate it. And first of all, I'll put in the picture of the very first time I was able to unlock it myself, because I have my own key. I know I look goofy, but I was excited. My husband's office is right next, where that picture came from. That's my husband's office. That's how close we are. If we have the doors open, we can mostly hear each other. But I was able to decorate it, and I'm not sure, I don't think I can edit this tomorrow because I'm actually going to be there tomorrow, but, well, I will try to take pictures tomorrow so you can see how it's decorated, and because I'm probably not editing quite yet. You like my jammy bottoms? I will show you what it looked like before. I definitely have those pictures when I inherited it, and then we threw away a bunch of stuff and ship some stuff off to him, whatever, and now it's not done. The wall behind me still has nothing on it. It needs something because it's a big red wall, but we'll see what you think of what I did on the sides and in front. Now, that auto picture, I know it doesn't fit there. I am fully aware of that. I'm going to try to get it reframed in like a black frame that's smaller. You don't have to tell me that doesn't look good there. I am aware. But we saw that, well, actually my husband found that in the store, and I love autos, so he showed it to me and I was like, I don't know where to put that. He's like, it doesn't matter, we'll find a spot. And then he hung it there, and I love it. But I wanted kind of a nature theme on one side because I had built a Lego, the Kingfisher one, and I really liked it. So I was doing one side nature, and then the other side I wasn't sure. I know there's no stitching, I know, but I don't feel safe leaving stitching there, so yeah. And I don't know what to do about that back wall. We'll figure it out. Okay, and finally, the truck is back at the dealership. The dash was kind of crinkly because of the water damage from the water getting in the back, and then we had that whole thing with a homeless person or whoever peeing in there and leaving their drugs, and then we took it in to be cleaned, but they didn't do a very good job cleaning it. We have someone supposed to come this week to clean it, but we don't have a truck for them to clean. So they said it would just be 2 days. Bring it Monday. It'll just be 2 days. So Monday, I dropped it off. I went to work with him Monday, dropped it off. He asked them like Monday evening, I think, when it was going to be done. Nothing. Tuesday, he asked them, when's it going to be done? Like, oh, we'll check with the tech on Wednesday. Wednesday, today, he texted them, and they're like, oh, well, let me talk to the tech, and I'll let you know. And then he texted back that they haven't even started it. So they're going to start it now. Today. And they're hoping it's done tomorrow, which means I have to go to Anaheim tomorrow. But I also have to take my mom to chemo tomorrow. So it was for the vehicle, so that actually kind of works out, because otherwise my husband would have to borrow my son's. My son got a job, by the way. I don't know what he does. Don't ask. It's computer something. Scrum Master or something like that. I don't know. I've asked. Believe me, I have asked. I do not understand. Anyway. So hopefully we get the truck back tomorrow. But since it's our anniversary, we wanted to go to dinner, but now we're going to be driving separately if we get it back. But if we don't get it back, that really complicates things, because I don't want to go to the office 3 days this week, but I'll have to on Friday to pick up the truck if it's not ready till Friday. I don't like not being able to plan, and that's part of why this week was so stressful, because I knew I needed the vehicle 2 days, but I also knew it was going to be gone, but we didn't know we didn't get it back, and then that really complicates how we all do what. And so I'm going to work with him so that we only have the one vehicle, but like tomorrow I'm going to take it to go see my mom and take her to the chemo, and so if he needs to go somewhere, he's going to have to find someone at work to take him, and if I'm super late coming back, he's going to have to get a ride home or work late, which either one's fine. I just want to know. None of it is really a problem. I just don't do well with not knowing. So this was a busy week too. I had a meeting. I have another meeting next week. I don't like meetings. I'm not a meeting person. The one this morning was completely pointless. There was zero reason for that meeting. Probably a lot of you can relate to that. So that's everything. That is all. Thank you for sticking it out to the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share your finishes, your whips. You know, people want to see what you're doing too. And I know it's a little less exciting because Alyssa's not here to ooh and ah as well, but she might be back next week. Not next week, next time. I've been falling in the every 3 week thing, I think, instead of every 2 weeks. This one might have been 2 weeks. I don't know. I do not know. But, bye Taco. Say goodbye. Bye everybody. Thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful week or two and everything goes well. Bye.